Happiness while our parents are still with us. Happiness when father and mother are still here, still a place to return to. There are things that only when we have gone very far do we begin to realize their true value. And there are kinds of happiness that exist every day, so familiar that we unconsciously take them for granted, believing they will always be there. Only when time quietly takes them away, leaving behind nothing but memories to hold and to miss, do we suddenly realize how immense that happiness once was. That happiness bears a simple yet sacred name: having our father and mother, having a home to return to. My hometown lies quietly beside a small river, its water year-round murky with alluvial silt. That river not only nourishes the fields, but also silently raises generations of human lives. The dirt road leading into the village becomes muddy every rainy season, sticky clay clinging tightly to every step. Old tin-roofed and tiled houses scatter among gardens, bamboo rows, and areca palms. Life here lacks abundance. Nothing could be called sufficient. Yet in this poor countryside, my parents live quietly and diligently, saving and enduring day by day, never complaining, never asking for anything for themselves, only wishing for one simple thing: that their children be safe, that the family remain together. My father is a man of the fields. His entire life is tied to a small plot of land, an old buffalo, and a wooden plow worn smooth by time. His hands are large, rough, cracked by sun and rain, by mud, and by endless seasons of labor. Upon those hands, every callus bears the mark of a lifetime of hardship. My father speaks little and does not express affection with words. He loves his children in his own quiet way. Every early morning, while the world is still wrapped in mist, he rises silently, slips on his faded shirt, and leads the buffalo to the fields. Every evening, when the sun disappears behind the bamboo grove, he returns with sweat-soaked clothes, carrying with him the familiar scent of soil and straw. Without saying much, his presence alone is a steady pillar for the whole family. My mother is different. She speaks more and worries more. Her life seems measured by daily meals, by changing weather, by the seasons of her children's illnesses. She remembers every meal her children like, every restless sleep at midnight. She knows by heart the smallest details. This child loves vegetable soup, that one often has stomach aches when the weather turns cold. The kitchen fire in our home never truly goes out, because it is there that my mother lights not only a flame to cook food, but also the warmth of an entire household. The rice she cooks may be simple, just a few vegetables, a bit of dried fish, but it carries a special sweetness, the sweetness of love, patience, and sacrifice. My family is poor, poor enough that new clothes at Tit were a luxury. Some years, I wore an old shirt with frayed shoulders, only freshly washed and carefully pressed by my mother. Yet in that poverty, laughter was never absent. Our family meals, though simple, were always complete because they included father, mother, and children sitting together. My father would quietly place a piece of fish into my mother's bowl. My mother would ladle extra soup for him. These small gestures, so ordinary they often go unnoticed, were in fact an entire sky of happiness, one that not everyone is fortunate enough to keep. My childhood passed in such simple days. Summer noons spent lying in a hammock, listening to the wind rustle through bamboo leaves. Evenings without electricity, when the whole family gathered around a dim oil lamp, listening to my mother tell stories, hearing my father casually speak about crops and harvests. At that time, I did not know I was living the happiest days of my life. I only wished to grow up quickly, to go far away, to see the vast world beyond. And then I truly grew up. I left my hometown, left the poor house, left my parents' embrace to study and work in the city. The city is crowded and noisy, its lights shining all night without ever going out. I threw myself into work, into the worries of earning a living, into the endless cycle of life. Calls home became fewer, visits grew rarer. I once thought that sending money back was enough to fulfill my duty. I did not realize that what my parents needed most was not money, but the familiar voice of their child, the sight of me stepping through the gate after days of absence, a meal where the whole family sat together. Every time I return home, I am startled to see how much my parents have aged. My father's hair is grayer, my mother's back more bent. Once light steps have become slow and heavy. The old house still stands there, yet it seems smaller somehow, because my parents are gradually growing weaker with time. Only then do I understand. My parents do not wait for anything grand. They only hope their child will come home, sit down for one meal together, exchange a few ordinary words. Just that. And yet, how difficult it sometimes feels amid life's busyness. There are quiet countryside afternoons when I sit by the front porch listening to the wind whisper through bamboo, hearing my mother move about in the kitchen, hearing my father cough softly behind me. These sounds are small and familiar, yet they suddenly weigh heavy on my heart. I become afraid. Afraid that one day these sounds will exist only in memory. Afraid that one day I will return to the same house, but my parents will no longer be sitting there waiting for me. Everyone must grow up and go far away. But please do not forget that in this vast world, there is still one place that always keeps its door open, waiting for us to return. That place has our father and mother, childhood memories, and simple home-cooked meals filled with warmth. As long as our parents are still with us, we still have somewhere to return to, somewhere to rest when we are weary, a shoulder to lean on when our hearts feel unsteady. One day, the road back to the village will still be there. The bamboo rows will still stand. The house will still lie quietly at the end of the lane. But our parents will no longer be sitting at the porch waiting. Only then will we truly understand that some losses can never be replaced. Money, fame, success, all become insignificant before the emptiness our parents leave behind. So while we still can, let us love more. Let us go home more often. Let us spend time sitting beside our parents, listening to the stories that seem repetitive, looking carefully at faces deeply marked by time. Do not wait until only memories remain to realize, choking with regret, that we once had a happiness so immense. Happiness is not a big house or abundant wealth. Happiness is sometimes simply being able to call out, Dad, Mom, and know that in a poor yet peaceful countryside, there are still two people who devote their entire lives to waiting for us to return, waiting with endless love, patience, and sacrifice. Nếu thầy muốn, em có thể chỉnh sang giọng Anh Mỹ hoặc Anh, rút gọn thành bản đọc 8 đến 10 phút cho video, viết thêm phiên bản phụ đề ngắn gọn dễ đọc. Thầy cứ nói hướng mong muốn, em làm tiếp ngay.